Good afternoon, everybody. It's Debbie and Rolo here, though I'm not sure Rolo is going to stay very long. I expect he'll run off in a minute. Anyway, today we're going to read from the fourth book in the Secret Adventures of Rolo series. This one is called Jewel, Dog and the Dragon. And I'm going to read you one of Rolo's blogs. These are things that happen in his everyday life that I actually witness, aside from his time-travelling adventures. So this one's called rolodogblog, the drone. The smiley lady was using delaying tactics for our walk this morning. When we finally got out, she marched me straight over to the field, and I was delighted to see that my great friends Merlin and Juno were already there. We had a great game of I wee you wee and chased Merlin's tennis ball for ages. That big dog is far too polite to snatch his ball off me, and Juno and I both have terrier skills, so we sneaked his much-loved tennis ball away and ran around like this for ages, wearing each other out, which is actually impossible for a terrier. The humans usually get bored before we run out of energy. A man appeared with a large camera on a tripod, microphone, and an interesting-looking bag. He introduced himself to the smiley lady and the other dog owners as a reporter for a national television company. I listened in to this breaking news. The residents of College Fields want to adopt the open space as town green, which means it can't be built on but freely used by anyone for recreational purposes. There is an objection to this by a party who declined to be interviewed. They were saying it was something to do with an access road and a plan to build new houses on an agricultural field beyond. Everyone was invited to have their say on camera. There was no holding back, and the smiley lady and I both said our piece. The reporter filmed us dogs playing and our people chatting, and it was a glorious sunny morning. All was going well. Then the reporter opened the black bag and took out a strange black object. He flicked a switch and it started making a loud bleeping sound, and it took to the air. This reminded me of an incident with the floppy-haired boy's helicopter I had once tried to kill because the noise it made nearly drove me mad. This thing was making the same sound. I still had Merlin's tennis ball in my mouth and I wasn't going to drop that, so I couldn't bark at the bleeping thing at first, but I kept running round in circles as it rose up in the sky and hovered menacingly overhead. I dropped the ball and started barking and jumping up at it. It soared higher and I could hear the reporter saying, "I'm getting great aerial footage. Keep up the chatter, everyone. There's a good dog. Well done, Rolo." When the man felt he'd filmed enough action for the news story, he wanted to land the whirring craft. I was having none of it. The smiley lady was spinning round, the cameraman trying to get hold of my harness to clip my lead back on. I wasn't going to let her stop me. I couldn't understand why the bleeping didn't affect the humans in the same way that it got to me. She shouted to the cameraman, "Keep the drone up until I get hold of Rolo or he'll destroy it." I'm just going to show you the picture that accompanies this, Chantel's fabulous drawing. You can see Merlin there and Juno. The other dog owners joined in the chase. Everyone was trying to catch hold of me while the annoying thing beeped on overhead. Merlin and Juno sat on the grass watching me with what I can only assume was admiration. Couldn't they hear it? Eventually I was rugby tackled to the ground and put on my lead and led swiftly away from the scene. As the reporter packed away the now sleeping bleeping thing, I heard him mutter, "Note to self, never work with Jack Russells." At last the thing was safely back in its bag. This reminded me of a similar incident when the smiley lady's smoke alarm went off. It kept on beeping and flashing, and she had to climb up a stepladder and take it down from the hall ceiling. She put the offending object on top of the dresser, saying something about a replacement battery, and was very angry with me indeed when I managed to get it down and kill it. It didn't beep anymore. Hashtag Rolo saves the day. So I'll be back again tomorrow with another instalment, perhaps from a different book. And yes, Rolo's actually managed to join in this time. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. Bye for now.